Hello everyone, I hope all of you are good and well, and today we are meeting after a long time, and we all were busy in exam procedure, and I hope everyone's exams has been held very nicely. All of you have performed very well, and I hope that each and every child will score very good marks because all of you are rocking children. So hope for the best, and today I am going to continue a new today I am going to start one more new chapter and taking our study procedure as usual as what we were doing from earlier time. So today's topic is natural resources. The name of chapter is natural resources. So before starting this chapter, I would like to tell that what are natural resources, meaning of natural resources. So beta, natural means anything which comes from nature, anything which we get from nature, things which are created by God and things which are created by itself. It means that there is no contribution of human being. These things are not made by man. These things are created by itself, and that is the difference between the natural resources and man-made resources. So let's we start what are man-made resources, and another name of man-made resources are artificial resources. And what are artificial resources? These are those resources which are created by human being, which are not created by God, which are not obtained from nature. These are created by the efforts of human being. So these are the main difference between the natural things and artificial things. So natural things are what? Which we get from nature. From where do we get? We get from nature. These are created itself. And artificial things are those things which are made by human being, like TV and table, and lots of TV, table, almirah, computer. These things are created by human being. And sun, moon, rain, cloud, sunlight, these are created by itself. These are natural things. So these are the main difference between the natural things and man-made things, artificial things. Now resources. Resources means ki those things which the way by which we do something, those helping things by which we complete a task, any material which is obtained by some raw material, and these are those helping things which makes a thing complete. That is called resources. The ways, the system or the sources which help us to complete to make a thing complete in itself. So that just few minutes back I said that natural resources and artificial resources. So these resources, these helping things, first we get by nature, which are called natural resources, and second resources, helping things which we obtain, which we get by human beings, which helps us to complete to make anything finished. So these are two differences. So let's we start. What are natural resources? See beta, things that we get from nature like sunlight, water, wind, forest, minerals, these are obtained from nature. These are some examples of natural resources. And these renewable resources, and there are of two types of resources. First is renewable resources and second is non-renewable resources. So once again, what are renewable resources? Actually the word re means repetition, as we all know. So renewable, what? Renewable. It means that anything which can be renewed, which can be made one more time, that is called renewable. Means ki those things which can be generated again, that is called renewable. Like recycled, plastic is recycled. So it means that by waste material we are using, we are making one more new thing, that is called recycling. Fine. So here I am going to explain like what are renewable resources. Means ki those resources in nature, that can be renewed. That can be renewed means that can be generated again. That is called renewable resources. Fine. And these are found huge in number. These are found huge in quantity. And as these are used again and again, they are generated simultaneously again and again. So have you understood? So I started with natural resources, and these are of two types, renewable and non-renewable. Natural resources means ki those resources created by God or nature, and artificial resources means ki those resources which are created by human being, made by human being. And next is non-renewable resources. Beta, non-renewable resources means ki that are supposed to be exhausted in future. Like exhausted means the word exhausted means that there are some chances of being finished. Like these resources are, if these resources are used carelessly by the human being, then these non-renewable resources can be finished. Maybe there will be scarcity of these resources in future if we are using these things carelessly, and there are very less chance to renew. These hardly can be renewed. And renewable resources means they are being used, they are generated automatically. But non-renewable resources means कि there are chances of being finished completely, and these non-renewable resources takes so much time to generate again. Like coal, petroleum, natural gases, these takes long time to generate again. And like fossil fuel even, it is a kind of fuel, fossil fuel. Now come to the point, what are fossil fuel? Fossil fuel are such a kind of fuel which are used, being get by the remains of plant and animals buried deep inside the earth. Now how fossil fuels are formed? Fossil fuels are a long it is the process which takes long time to generate, and these fossil fuels are obtained from the deep section of the earth. From the deeper section of the earth, fossil fuels are obtained, and it takes millions of years. Means millions of years back, so many trees which were buried under the earth, under the soil, and slowly they are decomposed, they are taken into a different shape and different form, and they are, when they were dug from the soil, then we are obtaining. So it is a very long and very slow process, and the name which is given to such a kind of fuel which are being used to burn, that is called fossil fuel. Finished? Clear? Now use of natural resources. Now what are the different uses of these natural resources? Things that we use in our daily life that come from natural resources. Means ki we are drinking water, we are obtaining sunlight, and lots of things are in our daily life which we are getting from nature. So we cannot stay away from these things. Mean to say that in our daily life we are consuming, we are using lots of things which we are getting from nature. Like, can we stay away from sunlight? No. Can we stay away from use of water? No. It is the most essential part of our daily life. For drinking, for washing, lots of things are there. Can we stay away from air? No. We are inhaling oxygen, we are exhaling carbon dioxide. So these are the part of natural, these are the part of nature surrounding us. So we cannot stay away from these things, and these are the essential part of our life, daily life. Every day, everyone, every second, every minute, people are consuming these natural resources. Fine. So while some need to be changed from their nature from before they can be used, water can be used directly. It is to produce hydroelectricity. Yes, just now I have said that water is a natural resources which we are using in different form, like for drinking, for washing, for cooking, for cleaning. So many things are there, so many fields are there where we are using water. And water is not only used for such purpose, only for this purpose. Water is used for producing electricity. Yes, and the electricity which is produced by the force of water, that we call hydroelectricity. What do we call? Hydroelectricity. Now let me explain this word hydroelectricity. The word hydro, it means water, and electricity means electricity. So by combining these two words, we get the definition that the electricity, a form of electricity which is produced by the force of flowing water, high force of flowing water, that is called hydroelectricity. Fine. And and for producing such a kind of electricity by the use of high force of water, dams are used, dams are produced, and dams are constructed to produce such a hydroelectricity. Fine. And fossil fuel need to be refined before they can be used. Petrol, yes, fossil fuel. Actually, just now I have said that fossil fuel, such a kind of fuel which is obtained from the deep section of the earth, from the deep section of the soil. So these are covered with lots of dirty things and dust particles and so on. So these directly we cannot use. These we directly cannot use to burn or anything. So these things need to be cleaned, refined, filtered completely. Then by following these process, after completing these process, we can use such fossil fuel. Clear? Now petrol, kerosene and diesel are obtained from fossil fuel. And what I said, what are the different forms of fossil fuel? Petrol, kerosene and diesel. Naturally, these are obtained from deep section of the earth, and these are full of impurities. These are found in the liquid form, so these are found with lots of impurities. And impure kerosene, impure petrol, that cannot be used in any vehicle. It can damage, and it is not successful exactly. So before using in such a way, in a direct way, these fossil fuels definitely need to be get cleaned after and there is a particular system to purify these fossil fuel, and after going through such a long process, these fossil fuels are used to use in vehicles and so on. Even minerals need to be separated from their ore before they can be used. Like lots of minerals are there, lots of metals are there, and which are found from the deeper section of mine. Mine, yes, mine. Mine is that part of the soil, means a deeper section of the soil which is dug very deep, and a tunnel is constructed. And through these tunnel, people goes, experts, not people we can say, means expert peoples goes in the very deeper section of the soil, and at a particular point they are obtaining different kinds of minerals. These minerals are hidden under the deeper section of the soil, and these minerals are so important and so valuable. And after purifying and after cleaning these minerals, ores are separated. Ores means ki the raw form of any metal, that is separated, then pure metal is obtained. After separation of ores from metal, these things are obtained and these are used, that is called minerals. Fine. The increase in population has increased the demand of natural resources. Yes, exactly. Just the initial part of this chapter, this video, I have said that natural resources are those resources which are created by God, which are created itself, and a few examples I have given just now, like water, air, wind, sunlight. These are some examples of natural resources. But as soon as population is increasing, means numbers of people, numbers of population are increasing day by day, we can see the situation. So the consumption of these things are increasing day by day. It means the consumers are increasing, definitely the consumption of anything will be increased simultaneously. So as soon as numbers of population are increasing, definitely the consumption of everything will be increased. So after making these things, after observing these things, we have found that these natural resources are being used rapidly, as soon as they are getting developed itself. But seriously, these are being consumed by the consumers rapidly. So what do we do? What do we have to do? We have to take care of these things. We have to take care in the field of like how do we use. If we are using carelessly, just in the beginning of this video I have said that if we are using these natural resources carelessly, definitely these will be vanished. Fine. And sometimes we hear in news, like we get the news that water scarcity and so on. So how these are happening? Why these things, problems we are facing? Because somewhere we human beings are misusing or carelessly using the sources of water, and definitely it will be such a problematic situation if there will be scarcity of water. Shortage of water may create people in problem. So there is a need to look for new resources. This would help us to conserve fossil fuel. And fossil fuel, actually we need to save our fossil fuel. And fossil fuels are those fuel which are taking long time to form. These are taking millions of years. These are not fast made process, or these are not those things which can be obtained immediately. These are not such mechanical, like these can be obtained from machine, or these are not artificial. Artificial things can be obtained very fast by man-made, by the efforts of man. But natural resources takes long time, especially fossil fuels. These are taking millions of years. So it needs time, it consumes lots of time, and as population are growing rapidly, this process, the formation of fossil fuel is very slow. So there is no good combination between the two. So what do? We have to be careful. We have to use these things very, very carefully. We have to maintain our use. We have to be more careful to save these natural resources. Fine. Now the two most important sources of energy. What are these? Including solar and wind power. See beta, actually form of energy is of that can be obtained in different form. Like energy can be obtained by sunlight. That what do we call? Can you tell me? Okay, fine. I am telling you. Energy which is obtained from the sunlight, that is called solar energy. What do we call? Solar energy. Solar energy means that of energy which we obtain from sunlight, that is called solar energy. And next is wind power. Wind power means the force of blowing wind, like what I said, hydroelectricity. It is a form of electricity or energy which is produced by the force of high force of flowing water. Fine, that is called hydroelectricity. So similarly, the energy which is produced by the sunlight, which is obtained by which we obtain from sunlight, and second is wind power, like the energy which we obtain from high speed blowing wind. Solar energy is used for heating and generating electricity. Like we have seen in lots of farm places, in lots of agricultural field, and on the top of the terrace we have seen that solar panels. You must be having at your home, you must be having at your farm these big solar panels, solar plates. These are set up. These are set. Why? Because the LED monitor of the solar plates are constructed, designed in such a way that these are kept in the under the open area, and directly these are absorbing sunlight, and these are storing sunlight so that these stored sunlight can be used for future purpose, and these are used for obtaining electricity, है ना? different Scientists are also trying to study how solar energy can be used to power vehicles, and not only for lighting the bulb or lighting the electricity for these uses. Scientists are trying to develop it more, to make more development in these things, and to start the vehicles, to run the vehicles by using these electricity. So these are different the different types of energy which I have explained now. Now dam. What are dam? Let me explain what are these definition. Dam. What is dam? An artificial barrier. Barrier means, the word barrier means stopper. Means at the door we have a small stopper so that it will not flip here and there by the force of wind. So what do we are getting there? We are getting a small stopper, a rubber grid. Fine. So that is a barrier, a stopper. So similarly, to stop the heavy force of water, so that water will not flow out of the boundary of the constructed wall, a high constructed wall that is used to stop the flow of water, that is called barrier. Fine. Next is refine. Refine means to making something pure, to remove the impurities from the any substance, any material or any liquid. That process is called refine. Refine means to making something pure, to making something clean, to filter up. Next is ore. What is ore? Ore is a naturally occurring substance from which metal can be obtained. Yes. What are ores? Ores are that which we get from the mines, and from these ores we are separating the impure things and the pure. Means to say that obtaining a metal from its raw form. That is called ore. Fine. So these are all about this chapter which I have explained. So we have a very short recap about this chapter. So the topic of the chapter is natural resources, and what I have said just now, that natural resources are those resources which are obtained from nature. These are generated by itself. There is no contribution of human being. There is no contribution of making. At the time of making these natural resources, human efforts are not contributed, and the contrary of these natural resources, one more resource is there, and what is that? That is the artificial resources. Yes, artificial resources. These are those resources which are obtained, which are created by human being. Fine. Like lots of things are there. Wall is there, pen is there, pencil is there, table, computer, lots of things are there. And natural resources, just I have said now, like those resources which are created by nature, like air, water, sunlight, cloud, wind, lots of things are there. And again, these are of two types: renewable resources and the non-renewable resources. Renewable resources means those resources which can be renewed, which can be made again. These can be regenerated. Renewable, which can be regenerated. And these are, as they are consumed, they are generated by itself. Second is non-renewable resources, means those resources which cannot be renewed, which cannot be regenerated so fast in compared to the renewable resources, and these are taking a very long process, and these are the process which goes to make these non-renewable resources. These are very slow. The process is very slow but very long even. Fine. And like fossil fuel. Fossil fuel. How do we get fossil fuel? Fossil fuel is obtained from the deeper section of the earth, from the deeper section of the mine, from the deeper section of the earth, and it takes millions of years, not 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, a decade, 2 decade. No, it takes millions of years. So see, beta, how slow process is this? How slow and long process is this? Isn't it? Exactly it is. So we should be more careful about these things where these are taking so much long time, because if we will be careless, then definitely we will be facing lots of problem in the future. So to save our future, we have to keep these things in our mind, that not to misuse these things. We have to preserve these things so that everyone can use it properly, because as population is increasing day by day, these things are consumed, and as people are showing their carelessness, these things are consumed in a careless way. So these things you need to know, you have to keep in mind. And the forms of energy: hydroelectricity, second is solar energy, and third is wind energy. So hydroelectricity, as the word defines itself, hydro means water, electricity means electricity. So the electricity which is produced by the high or heavy force of water, that is called hydroelectricity. And second is solar energy. Solar energy means ki that energy, the form of energy which is obtained, which is produced by the sunlight, by obtaining sunlight, and the solar plates are ready to absorb the sunlight, which is used later for for lighting electricity and all. And third is the wind energy. Wind energy means ki that form of energy which is produced, which is obtained by the heavy force of wind. So these are three different things. Dams I have explained just now. So I hope you have understood this chapter. You have maybe you have some queries, so you can drop down your comments. You can ask me anytime. I am there to help you. So if you face any queries, if you face any difficulties in any topic, in any question, you please take my help. I am always there to help you. I hope you have understood, and I hope you have enjoyed even. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.